Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Muscle Kodo, and in this video we are going to learn about CRUD functionalities. CRUD functionality is the primary thing which you want to learn before going to any kind of database, which may be Ruby, MongoDB, Firestore or anything. The first thing you want to learn about CRUD. So here we are using Firestore as our database, and for those guys who doesn't know what is CRUD, it is basically create, read, update and delete. These four functionality is called CRUD, because when you are deploying a database, these are the main things which we are going to do upon those database. So if you master these all things, you can do anything on database. So that's all about the intro. Without any delay, we can jump back to our main video. So here we are going to make the contact application, because in contact application we will cover all the CRUD functionalities. So that's why I choose the contact applications. When coming to the UI part, I have already created the UI for you, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on creating those UIs, because in less time I want to transfer more knowledge to you. So that's why I have already created some UI and I will explain it for you. This was the normal thing which we already done in the previous applications. Special to that, we have just created an app bar here, and in app bar I have just make a title, and in the title I have mentioned a text called CRUD, so that's what which is appearing here. And also there should be an icon on the right end, so I just make icons dot add, and from there I just call a bottom navigation, so bottom sheet actually. So when a user click on this add button, there should be a bottom sheet should be appear, and here the user can enter any user can enter his name, and here he can enter the number. So after some time we should make some hint text and hint name here, so when it pops up they can know what should be entered in this given field. So that's what this is meant to be. And when coming to the code, when we press on this bottom sheet, here bottom sheet, I have just created a container here, and inside the container I have just make two text field, because the user want to input his name and also his number. So I have just put two text field here, and also there should be a button. I have here I doesn't give a normal text field here. I have just given text form field. Why I given text form field? Because I want to pick some validator here. So if some user has entered the name, and if the user doesn't enter the name and contact, when I click the add button without the validator, it will directly get to the database and becomes null. So I don't want that such a scenarios happen to in our application. So I just put validator. I will explain you in detail in after some time. So yeah, that's all about those create. So when a user click on this button and add, there should be a data should be created here. And after in the body I have just created a distribute builder here, and in that one I have described a card. Why I choose card? Because if you describe the card in any of you turn the card, it will already have some elevations, and its edges should be round rectangular borders should be here. So that's why I have make the card here. And in the list I have given the leading as circle avatar, and in the title I have just given the text as M and subtitle as here the number. For the time being it is dummy data, but after sometimes we will retrieve the data from the database. So in here we will also cover our read. So we have from this time we have just completed our create and read. And if the user picked on the trailing button trailing button if a user press on the trailing button, then he can edit his name. So if some user wants and he just wanted to edit this name and just want to pick some other name, he can update the name. So in here we should create the update button. So we have given the three functionalities, and the remaining was delete. So how we are deleting some data from here is by swiping here, because I doesn't give the functionality there, because I thought that you should know how to dismissible those buttons. Actually it's called dismissible. It's actually a widget. Actually it's called dismissible widget. So if someone swipes here, it will automatically be swiped out and will be removed from the database. Yeah, so that's all about the code. And here we have just make a constants folder here, and in the constants folder here we have just listed the colors which we are using here. So we doesn't want to describe the whole format, because when we want to describe some color, we should wanted to write colors dot y, colors dot amber. We in every time we want to do this colors dot y. But if we given some constant fields like that, we just wanted to describe this name only. We colors white, it will automatically be fetched from here. So that's all about the code section, and then we can jump to creating our database. So this is our database. We are using Firestore as our database. For those guys who doesn't know how to create a database using Firebase, I have just created a video upon that. I will give those link in the description so you guys can watch out. So in Firebase there are two types of database: Firestore database and the real-time database. In this application we are using the Firestore database. So when you are headed to Firestore database, it may take some time. Okay, yeah. Okay. So you want to press on this create database button, and yeah, there was we can start a version today in production mode and test mode. In this application we are creating an application, so we doesn't need in production mode, we just need in a test mode. So we start in test mode and press button. You want to get any location, Firestore location, it doesn't matter actually, so just enable it, and it might take some time to we giving the cloud Firestore. Let me wait for this time. So this is what the database looks like. We doesn't add anything to database, so it will look like this. Once we add those data, we'll explain about all the things which we are going to do in this database. So that's all about database. Then we can just jump back to our code section and jump to the coding part. So the first, we doesn't pick any controller here. So when text form field comes, and we should want to retrieve these values from here. When a user enter, if I enter something, and I also enter 2580714, yeah, and add, nothing should be happen. So first step we want to do is that we should retrieve this data from the text field. So for that we are coming to a property of the text field, and here it's called a controller here, and controller we should name it as name controller. The same we can just copy it and make it the same thing in all. So control V. So here's the name controller, here is the path font controller. So now we just give this this is the controller here. Now we wanted to initialize those controllers. So when we here is the thing we want to text editing controller. The first one is the name controller. Yeah, now we can just copy it here. Those who wanted those can make the type here, but I am a little bit lazy about these typing all these one more, so I just make it there. Now we have just make the font controller, and yeah, if someone has pressed on this add, so it should be on first. So if someone has pressed on this add button, then we should get ignite those values here. So we can just make a trial in here, print name controller dot value, and also we just wanted to make another print statement here actually. So in print we can make it a font controller. So yeah, font controller dot value, and now we can make a rerun on this application. And now if we press this add button here, we can just make the console big so that you can see this one. I can name it as the same name as we given Sam, and number is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. And now if we press the add, yeah, there is something error is here. Yeah, if we make dot value, it will this is the one, yeah, this is the one which you are getting. So we doesn't need value here. I had just make a mistake here. Dot text is the one we wanted to be though. Yeah, if we get the value, the whole properties will be printed. So this, here we can know that if we text reaching value dot text, if we get to this object, then we can get the value here. So now we can make a rerun on that one. Sorry guys for that mistake. And now if we make an and, yeah, now we will get the this name and the number. So we have just completed our first part. Next part is that we wanted to make another file here. Yeah. Just make a new file and we can name it as database. We are going to define our database, so we are just name it as a class database, database. And the first function we are going to define is that to create some collection on database. So for that we are describing a function called create, and we are making it as an async, and should return Firebase Firebase firestore dot instance and collection. So what is our wish to name our collection? So our app is particularly a contact app, so we can name our collection as contacts dot document. So what should be the document name? It is saying what should be the document name. So we should make any random key which we should get generated on the UI side actually. So we can name it as a random key. So if you don't know the terms of collection document, don't worry. In a couple of minutes, I will explain you what it mean by a collection and document. So for the time being, just follow me. Dot we want to set something. What has happened? Dot, yeah, dot set. So we should make a map. So the input of the data which you are giving in which is form of map, so we are just making a map, and we are also making it as an argument here, detailed map, yeah. And once if this code was successful, then we should get printed value, and if it is successful, we just wanted to print successful. And if something badly happens here, there were certain scenario where something bad may happen, so we just want to catch that error, and we just wanted to make it like this and print this error too. Oh my god, print error. So that's all about the database part. And the next thing we want to do is that we just want to go to the main dot and we want to call this thing from here. So we just wanted to call the database, create from database to here. So for that we want to create an object of that database. So for that we make database. What is happening? Database equal to data database. So we have just created those objects here, and now we can call this create functions from the database. So for that we are just making it, we can just comment because it may need for us on the future purpose, so we're just commenting it out. So here we are calling database dot, there should be create, and in create we want to create some random key here, so we just want to create a random key, and also we just wanted to create a detail map here. So for that we just wanted to create those. First thing was a detailed map, so which is a map, and it will be the type of a string, comma, and the uh, it should be dynamic, and we can name it as the same name which we are given, because there will be some spelling mistakes may happen, so we don't want such mistakes to be happen here. And the name should be name controller dot text, so that should be the name. And the contact should be phone controller dot text. Actually the contact is not the right name, we can name it as phone number. So yeah, now we have just created the detail map and we can just pass it to here. So that was our. Now next we want to create a random key here. So for creating a random key, it was much simple, because there is a function there's a function actually in the dot, so we just want to call that function, and for some uniqueness we are just making something new here, string, and random key, you can name it like this, random key, and random key equal to, we should get the name of the user from name controller dot text, and I'm adding it with plus random dot next int. Yeah, before that, yeah, I will make like this dot to string actually. So for using this random property, we want to import the import math actually, so it doesn't import on the so I just want to import the import, oh my god, import math, yeah, import dot math. Now that will be gone, not gone actually. What is the mistake we have just fixed here? Yeah, now we have just imported those things, this thing, and here we want to make a random equal to random. What is happening here? And it's equal to a random, and now if we look on that will be gone, because we just want to, after we have just imported this database create, as the same purpose it's also a function in the math class, so we just want to import those function to that file, to this file. So that's all about the thing, and I think it will be pretty much okay here now. Now I think we are good for a trial run actually. Let's make it. If you are successfully inserted, we should get a message from here. Yeah, there should be something error in the database. Yeah, database. Yeah, here we have just forgot to make a semicolon. Is that only one? Yeah, because there's only one, and there are two, another one. Okay, yeah, now we can good for a trial run actually. Now if we press this button, it should come here, and yeah, we can name it as the same name we are given, and the number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and if we add this, yeah, so successfully it is added to the database. And now if we check on the database, we can just refresh it. Yeah, here the collection name was get, and this is the thing which we uploaded. So On when once we have just created on the database, we have just named it as a collection. It should be a collection, and we have named those collection as a contact. So what was the type of data we are holding here? So in some if you are making a e-commerce application, you just wanted to make a collection for the user name and for a other collection for making the when a user buys something, you want to store in a separate collection. So on that time you just wanted to create a different name for the collection, but now we are making a contact app only, so that we just make a collection and name it as a contact. If we see here, yeah, we can see there's a collection as the contact. And next thing which is we're going to document. So after a collection we can store a number of documents here. So if we store another name, we yeah, I will show you by storing another name. For this time we can store something like this, and if we add it and if we look to it, you see this is the one other. So inside a collection we can have a number of documents actually. So a document is a something, a name to a the name actually. So if you wish you can name you can name the name of, you can name the document as the name of this thing too. So that's all about the document and collection. So successfully we have created to upload the data to the database. So the next thing we are going to take on about to read the data from the database. So what we are going to do is that we want to read the SAM15. I think this name is not right. We can make a good name actually here. You can also RAM, we can just make it as a RAM and just update it. So yeah, it's all okay now. Yeah. So the next step is that we want to retrieve this data from the database, and we want to print it on the sorry, we just want to print it here. So for the time being I have just given some dummy data here. If you see here, where is my list tile? Yeah, if here I have just given some dummy data. So on the next part we are just removing these dummy data, and we are just giving those data from which we are getting from the database. So we can jump back to the reading from the reading of any functionalities which you are waiting on. For reading the data also, you just want to create another function database. So we can make another function here called get contacts. We can just make it like this, and it's also an async function because it's all the twisted data which we are getting from the network. So it's always better to give it an async or async thing. Return firestore base. So from which this indicate that from which collection you want to retrieve data. So we want to retrieve the data from the contact. So then get those snapshots from those. So that's what indicates. So by having this command, this code, it will go to the data. It will go to the database and search for the contacts. So we had named the collection as contacts, and from the contact it will get to the each and every document. It should get each and every document as a snapshot here and will be displayed on our screen. So if the first data is the SAM15, right? So if the first thing it will show this document, and we want to get the each property by calling those properties like dot name, dot phone number. So by that we can retrieve each and every identities from this from the field. So we can show a balance in the code actually. Yeah, from the next thing we want to give is that we just wanted to make a data type here, make a snapshot for make a stream for actually. Here we want to declare a stream here, and its type, the data should be getting is type of a query snapshot. Query snapshot, and it should be the fetched Yeah, this is the newest update because it should take care of the null safety, so just want to give some. So if this is null, this affirmation will not be happen though. So it's actually for null safety because Flutter will always take care of the null values. So it's the newest update actually. So after that, we just wanted to make an init state here because make init state, and in that init state, we want to call database dot no database get yeah, call functions actually. Yeah, this is the function we are calling, and here we can make a method here call function. This purpose of this call function is that we want to get those data from the database, and we are calling the get function from here. This get contacts, we are calling it from the call function, so we can do it anyway. So first of all, we just want to make it async because we're making a future call actually. So await database service database dot get contact. If it's if this code works properly and the data gets from the database successfully, then we want to print error message as before dot value, and here if the value is not null actually, if the value is not equal to null, then we want to make a set state here, set state, and we do fetched. This is the stream we have just declared on the above, and we will assign each and every value which you are getting to this thing. So whenever a value is not null, the value will be retrieved, and this value will get to the fetch list, and it will be stored on the stream. This is the thing we have just declared here. Where is that one? Yeah, it will be stored on here, and on the next step we will make a stream builder. So these thing will be go to the stream, and the data will be populated. So this is what we are going to do if the first scenario is okay, but there's the next scenario if the value is null. So if the value is null, for the time being we are not making on a production basis, so it doesn't want to print it on the screen. We just wanted to make for our satisfaction, so we are just making it on the console log. So we just make it as value is null. So that's all about the call function. And now if the value is not null, it will be come to here, it will be stored in this fetch list, and we can get rid of this data. So and the next step we are going to take is we want to make a stream builder actually. So here, where is our list view builder? Yeah, here is our list view builder. Currently it's all the dummy data, and we just wanted to change all this data from here. So here we will make, I think we can call it from here, if there is stream builder. Yeah, here is stream builder, and the type of object we are calling is that the query snapshot is the document we are calling. Is the query snapshot because this is the data type we are given here. So that type of values are coming, and we want to make it as when we compare this, those values should be same. So we are giving it as a query snapshot. By the way, where is that one? Oh my god, I lost myself here. Yeah, query snapshot, and in the stream we are giving the fetch list here. Yeah, so whenever the data will come and you will store on the stream, and this stream builder will focusing on the fetch list stream. Yeah, now it's okay. And the next step, if the snapshot has data, if the snapshot dot has data, then we want to perform something, then only we want to return all these things. So if there is data, then we want to turn the list view builder. If there is no data, there are certain scenarios where there is no data, just make a container here and make it as a 0. Nothing to be more, just return a container here. That's well for that one. And in the list view builder, there's I for the time being I have given the item count as 2, so that's only there is only 2 data. For now I'm giving is that snapshot dot data dot docs and dot length. Now it will be okay. There is an error. What is error? Yeah, this is a null check property. For the item count also there should be some scenario where there is the value should be null. If there is no data on database, it will be null. So we want to first check if the data is null, then only we want to check upon the other properties. So if we check that if data is not null, you can safely pass to here. If data is null, please stop. We want to stop here. So that's what it's indicating. And in the item builder we have given this thing, and the next thing we just wanted to remove these the custom default text to snapshot dot data dot docs dot docs dot not docs index. So what is the first index dot what is the first value we are going to use? The name. Yeah, this is the first thing. Yeah, the same error will be occurred here. Yes, yeah, now it will be perfectly okay. If there is none, I have explained once, but I am not returning to explain more before I have explained it's on the above code. Now it's okay, and the same thing we will get copied to here, and we can paste here. I think now it's all fine, and it is better to make a trial run actually. Or any errors, or it's like I think no errors are there. Let's hope for the best and make a trial run. I think there should be 1 or 2 errors actually there. Hey, there were no errors. Yeah, there should be an error. That's my fault actually. Sorry. That was the mistake of the copy. When you are sometimes you're performing the copy paste, you just have just laid out. So there was thing I had just given the name here too. So phone number. Now if we make a rerun, what will be? Yeah, now it's all right. And our read, we are also performing our read task also. Now we can check if we add some data here. Dave 178092771450. If we give, yeah, here we the data should be appeared here. The next we are testing our first test case here. Assume that if a user comes to press this button, and if he or she might accidentally press the add button. Sorry. So now if he accidentally press button and if no values were given, it shows like this. The no value should be there. And if we look at our database, see here, there is no values here. So that the value is getting read from here and it's shown here. So we don't want such scenarios in our application. So it's time for the next tip. We are going to give a validator to the text field. So if the validator will check if there is any value on the text field on the text controller, and if it doesn't know value and the user presses on submit button, it will prevent the user to update the data. So that's what we are going to do now. We are giving a validator to the text field. So for the first step is that we want to provide a key to the form. Actually we have described the text field inside the form, so we can make a key here, and in the form key we can make it as a form key. Now it's show error, obviously it's show error because we doesn't initialize the application yet, so we just wanted to initialize it or declare it here where we can do it. Yeah, here global key, and we are expecting a form state of data, and next we are making a form key global key, shape of the form state and just make it. So that's all about declaring it. And now we can go to our text field, verso text field, and text field there is a property called validator, and it will check upon what is the, it will check on the controller actually, so what type of values are coming, and we can make it. So in validator we can make a value, should return a value here, and if the value is string, if the value is string, first you will check if the value is string. So if the value was string, or first you can check if the value is empty actually. So that was our scenario, right? So if the value is empty, it's a property called if empty, and if we check it, what is happening here? Empty value is empty, it's not showing here. Yeah, it's showing because first we want to know that if there is value, so for that, that's a null check operator we are doing. So we want to just know what if the value is there. If the value was there, only we can make it, we can check the next condition. So for that we can just make it here, and now if you see the error was gone. Next, yeah, now if there is no value, you should return error code, you should return something. This is the what will be displayed on the user. Required fit. You can display your message here, it's your comfort level, you can do whatever you like. And if there is something value, you shouldn't do nothing. So that was here. Yeah, now it's okay. The same will be there for the second text field also. So it's better us to copy this thing, and why there is an error. Let's go on actually. What's the error? What is the need of that error here? What is happening? Let's check on that one. Yeah, text form field is here, validator value is here, then what is this thing? What is this thing? What's the use of this one here, builder? We don't need this thing here, and just need to go. Yeah, it's all okay now. So we just want to copy this thing and just paste it though. So it's our text field. Yeah, just paste it here. That's what all about the validator. And next we just wanted to check it before submitting the button. We want to check if those values were correct or not. So in the onPost property, we just wanted to give if form key dot current context, not current context, it's current state. What I'm doing, current state dot validate, and now you wanted to copy this whole thing from here and just paste it inside the if condition. We don't need these comments here, but we can just remove it. So now I think all is okay. Just run our application, just go for a run actually. Let's see what will happen if we add the, yeah, you see this is the required thing is here, and if we see here the whole is red, but the, yeah, if you see there's a required thing is happening here. So it's I am not pretending, I don't plan for this thing, but I think it should be better for you to know about how to pass this validator and all. So yeah, it is the thing. So we had just completed our read operations and insert operations. So next is the update. We just wanted to update field. Before that, we should remove this thing from here. So for removing it, we can just go to here, and in the way selecting it, you can go here and delete document. Started, it will be deleted. Yeah. So that's all about the read operation. Next, we are heading to update functionality. We're going to perform the update functionality, and the flow is like that. If the user pressed on this pencil or edit button, a bottom sheet will comes up as the same. I think we don't need to create another bottom sheet here. We can use the same bottom sheet for here too, because it's actually about the functionality, not about the UI thing. So don't worry, if you are here for UI, there should be, I will be beautifying the code and the UI on the last part, and for those guys who are just focusing on the functionality, you guys can be get here. So if someone has tapped on this button, we are calling the same bottom sheet as we called on this plus icon, and we are just updating it. So we can we can stop speaking out and we can just code it. So here is the, we can just find it in the list style. I think in the list style, yeah, in the list style we have post here, and we just take bottom sheet and context sheet. And next we just wanted, we had just called it, so we can just check it out. Pressed on this button, yeah, it will come in. Yeah, it's all fine here. And we want to write the code for updating. So we just go to database and create an other function called update contact. So here is also an async function. Return await Firebase firestore dot instance dot collection. So the collection name is contact dot document. What should be our document name? So there are collection of documents here, right? So there was 3 documents, and when we write the code, we want to when we are going to update some documents, we just wanted to give this random key name. This is the random key, this is the key we are passing. So we also wanted to give this key to the database, so we want to keep this random key here, random key, copy and paste, key dot update detailed map, updated map actually. Updated map, and that's all for the database code. Just copy it and paste it. And now when we are calling this update content, we should pass those values for the random key and the update method. The random key, we can just give the random key from here. We can just retrieve this data from here and we can pass it out. So that's all about it. And if you see that we have used the firebase.filestore in many of these codes, so we can just make it a simple code. You can make final firestore equal to, why you need to write if we have the code here. See, don't find now the code becomes more and more beautiful. See, yeah, now it's look something great actually. So now we can go to our main dot and we can call that function. And now the problem exists in here. If we, where is that one? Yeah, if you press on this button, bottom sheet will come up for it. In icon button though, this is the icon button which I have given, icon dot edit, and if you so press down this button, the same bottom sheet will appear here. And if you so press down this button here to the same button, and those text fields are coming. And if the user, if we are calling the same bottom sheet, and if he pressed on this add button, it should create those fields. Actually, it's clear, it will create the new data. But if you click the edit button too, it will go to the same bottom sheet and it's also create new one. We don't want to create, we just wanted to update the field. So we want to go to the bottom sheet, and we just want to know, we just wanted to give the bottom sheet that what she wanted to do. So I am just passing here to update here. So yeah, now it's sure because it doesn't give any here to do. So now if you go to here, where is the thing here? Yeah, I have checked this much things here, and if to do equal to to update what I'm doing, to update, then we should give something else. If it was not like that, then this function should be appeared here. Yeah, so now if the user want to update something, we just give database dot update contact. We want to pass a random key here, and we also want to pass an updated map here. So for the updated map, it's much simple here. It's the same as the thing map string dynamic map string dynamic, and with updated map match. You can give the same name as here. So here now you just wanted to make these same fields here, and just want to get those data from here. And the next thing, we want to get the random key. So random key, can you just name it as random key 1, and when the user will call this function, you also want to get a random key 1. So that is over. And there's another error is here, we just want to pass the random key 2. So we can retrieve this data from here actually. Yeah, this is the random key which you are expecting from the database. And what should be, if we make another field here as a rank key, and we have passed these value 2 to here, it should be more good actually. So it makes our process much easier, because in future too, we just wanted to get so that keys. So it would be great if you save those data to the field actually. So we can just go to on creation. Yeah, we can first of all just is that create in the key, we can also pass that, what is the thing, random key. Now it's okay. Now it's fine, too much easy for us to sort it out. It's an error. Yeah, Here you see this is the error from the here. This is the error from the add button here. So when the user was creating a contact at the first time, he doesn't want to give any random key here, so we just give it as a empty string here. And the next thing we have passing for the user is to what should he do. So here we can pass to create. Notice the null string is also, but to get more familiarized, I'm just giving to dot to create here, and there is one more error here. There's this arrow, and where is the other one? Yeah, we can make it more. That arrow was gone. Where is the next one? What is the error here? Yeah, that too was gone. And the next step we are going to take is that we have just passed the key to the database, and if you see here, for this type of data there is no key here, so it's better you have to delete these collections from here, whole collection, and get a fresh collection for that. And let's delete it. Now the whole data will get deleted, and we can get a new data. We can name it as Sam 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and we just add another user Ram, same phone number. Yeah, I think 2 was enough, and we refresh our database, the new data will be shown here. Yeah, our new data will be shown, and you can check if there is key. Oh, we have doesn't saved our code yet, so that was the, hey, what is the reason and that one? 3 position arguments get, yeah, here we just want to pay, we just want to get, that was the random key actually, snapshot dot data equal to dot, dot. Yeah, I think the orders are gone now. I think if you see like this, we can't know what is the reason, so we can just simply give it as named parameter context. Context, and here is the to do. You can just copy from here. It's always better to copy from here. To do, and the next thing was random key 1. Context. Key 1, and here is the to do. Yeah. Now the horrors are gone, and once again you just create. Sorry guys for those 2 times delete. I have already deleted 2 times here. So just for the last time we can just delete here. Context. And if you create it now, from and we just add it to the user to here. We just need a single data. Yeah, the data is here and the key also here. So if we try to update the data, which let's see what happens if we try to delete, if we update the data. In place of raw, we can place as we can make it as Dave actually. Yeah, if you see, you have get these a new data here. Let's try it one more by making it as a Dave. Yeah, now if you see, and now if you just, we can just make our first test run actually. If we press this button and we can name it as something called ISA, and if we add this to here, then let's see, then here you see we are not get updated, we have just been creating that. Let's see what is the error, what is the problem here. Actually we are going to here and to update number database.update contact, and it will search for the random key here and to it updated the map. This is the updated map. And if we check on database update, yeah, we have just also passed, it's all working fine. Then what is the reason behind that one? Let's check it on. The major of our time will go on this buggy debugging history. Maybe something to update. What should we give it? Yeah, that is the reason. Here I have given 2 U and P are in uppercase, but here I am expecting a only one U was used, only one in uppercase. So just get used to your typos actually, because it get into a major problem. And now we are again by fingers across, just look, and yeah, now it's all fine. We are just get updated our data. If we want to change our RAM to mana, get add, yeah, this is one. And the one thing you have noticed that if you press the add button 2, it will not go in down. And the second error was that if you press this button and the last entered value is still here, we want to solve the two problems. And for sorting these two problems, we can do that by just go to here and just press navigator dot context dot, and at this time you see copy and let's make check on this thing. We have just make a new thing here, and in case of loop we have just making it as Renka, what I wish, Renka and 87965, and yeah, now it's all gone. So yeah, that's all about the update. And the next, the first and final functionality, it's called deletion. So we are going to perform the delete operation, and the flow for the delete operation is that when a user swipes the list tile to left, it should be deleted from the array, and at the same time it should be deleted from the database too. So we can write the code for deleting the item from the database. So we are making another function here, delete contacts, and we are just making this async, and yeah, just make it return. Oh wait, and we are just calling those function we have written here firestore. So if you write the firestore, this much code will be replaced. So the firestore dot document, and we are passing that random key here too, because when you are perform delete operation, you should be specified that which data should be deleted. So we are specifying the each data using the random key, which is, I will show you what is the random key, which is here. This is the random key which we are using here. So we have that random key here there, and dot delete. So it's that much simple here, just delete it. So that's all about the database part. And if you come to UI, you just want to find out what is the list style here. Yeah, here is the list style, and we wanted to make it as dismissible actually. So dismissible is a widget which is provided by the Google Flutter team actually. So if you wrap it with a widget and dismissible, yeah, it is dismissible, and we should provide a key for each. So whenever you should make, and I am making the unique key, it's actually a property of Flutter, so it should develop a unique key for by itself. So if you go to unique keys, yeah, here you see that there should be a symbol, and if you print that unique, if you try to print that unique key, you can see that it should display some value like ff578. So some values like it should display the values like that, and there is showing an error actually. There is not the child is required. Yeah, here is the child, and yeah, we are looking a unique key here, and we have just on this property called on dismissed. Property called on dismissed here, and we just must make direction, which from to direction. So if you print this direction, if you fly from left to right, the direction will print the left to right, and if you print from right to left, the direction will print the right to left. So that's all about it. And from here you just want to call database dot delete contact, and here you want to pass the random key. So now we are calling it from the list style itself, so we can retrieve it by simply by calling those random key here. Where does I call this thing? Yeah, here random key. So there is more better way for making it. So if you print something a key like here, and you can also give the values like this. We can also give the value for key name and everything from here too. But the problem is that whenever the UI get built, these values will also get replaced. But it's not a major problem, but you can use that way also, but I prefer this way. So we are making this thing here. Just make a key out here. Where is that one? Yeah, here you just make a variable key, and here you can just this is also, I think this is the more better way, because in sometime if you misspell the spelling, you just only want to change here. But the way I prefer is you want to change the code each and everywhere. So I think that is the most preferred way for that one. But you can choose that one, but have choose this one. So the video was too much lengthy from now to, so I don't want to give it more lengthy, so that's why I'm preferring like this. And now if we run our application, we can you can check that, yeah, it's moving. Yeah, it's get moving, but yeah, it's moved. So what's about if we give some container a background to it, so it looks more realistic, right? So we are just making a background and a container here, and making the color of the container as red. Now if you swipe this, you can see that it's deleting all, and we are just done the creation operation from by here. you are just doing a reading operation by retrieving the data on the home screen. We have done the update. If you get the SAM to rink and just make it, yeah, it's also get updated, and if you swipe it on the left, it get deleted. So perform all those CRUD operations here. Let's make a quick recap on that one. If you enter some name and just enter the number, the value get created. Here we can make one more value here as RAM and just make it, yeah, the creation was done properly and the value was also get error on the home screen. And if you want to update it, you just press on the button, you can just update RAM to Dave, and that also running properly. And the delete operation, if you swipe it from left, the delete operation was also performing. So if you go to the code, I have performed all the database code on separate file section. So you just want to, if you want to look the code, you can just on the GitHub. I will make this repo on the GitHub so you can check it out. And that's all about this, the CRUD functionalities, and new videos are coming up on the baseball database on the Firebase, various functionalities we can perform on Firebase. So please follow me and please subscribe to the channel, and I'm signing off. Thank you guys.